new session on Control Engineering Module 1. So in the previous session we have studied about the types of controllers. In that we have understood about what is a proportional, integral and derivative type of a controller with a proportional and integral composite type of a controller. So in this session we are going to study about proportional differential and proportional integral and differential type of a controller. So in a proportional derivative type of a controller, basically we should know first what is a derivative control mode is. The derivative control mode produces an output based on rate of change of error. So here in this figure we can see that we are going to plot the output with respect to error here with t as an axis and error. So here at a zero error or zero error input to the controller, there is no change in output of the controller. But as we want the error to be changed, or the derivative mode will start to produce the output based on the change of rate of error. So when the error input is going to change constantly, it is going to change with the change in time, then rate at which the error is going to change, that is going to be getting predictable, and based on this error, that is derivative error, at that instant what we do, we find out the output. So this is what happens in case of a derivative controller, and it is very sensitive to do measurement when it is having noise. If it is having a ramp process output, then it is easy to do, and if it is having much noises, it becomes very difficult to do. So it makes a trial and error tuning more difficult, hence it is not used individually. So there is a need of using the derivative controller with a proportional controller, hence we use this with the proportional controller, so it is called as a proportional derivative controller. So in proportional derivative controller, that is PD controller, in this case the control signal at the output, that is the controller output, is proportional plus derivative of the error signal. So it will be proportional to the error, and it will be added with the change in rate of error which is getting accumulated during the constant period of error or zero error, to give the instant which is the error which is going to have at a derivative change. So this type of a controller is mainly used which can predict the future errors. So derivative controller are used to predict the future errors and compensate this to make the control system stable enough before it is going into unstable. So this is the block diagram of a proportional derivative type of a controller. Next, mathematically PD controller is given by u of t equal to proportional, that is Kp bracket Et plus d by dt of Et into Td. So rearranging or taking Kp inside, what we get is u of t is equal to Kp into E of t plus Kp d by dt of E of t into Td. Next, applying a LPT on the above equation on both sides, we get u of s equal to Kp into E of s Laplace transform of et is equal to E of s, then Kp plus Laplace transform of d by dt of et into td will be s into E of s into td. Rearranging, we wrote it as Kp into s into td into E of s. Here Kp is a constant, here we can take it outside, and E of s is again common, which we can take it on the other side to bring it into a transfer function form. So it can be rewritten as U of s equal to Kp bracket 1 plus s into td bracket complete E of s. Next, when we are writing it in a transfer function, the transfer function is given by U of s by E of s equal to Kp bracket 1 plus s into td, where td is time derivative and Kp is the proportional gain. So this element, that is Kp into 1 plus s into td, is written in the block. So where it is written in the block of our controller, that is here in this block it is written Kp 1 plus s into td. Next, we need to understand the characteristics of a proportional derivative controller. So when we are going to plot the plot of error with respect to time and a controller output with respect to time, we can see that when there is zero error, there is no change in error, the controller output is also not having any deviation, it is also remaining constant. From here to here is, that is a zero error controller output, means for zero error also we are making the controller to give some signal. So this is a one step signal with a zero error input. Then during this time, what it does, it accumulated all this immediate deviation, whatever deviation is there, errors were accumulated, and immediate rise due to deviation action is taking place, it rises here. Then the rise in the signal due to proportional action, now it will start and it will go up and it will ramp up. So this is called as a output. So what is the type of characteristic of this one is, this is like this step and it will immediately rise due to derivative action, and next with the proportional action it is going to rise. This is what is the characteristic curve of a PD type of a controller. So the PD type of a controller mainly has one important characteristic, is that it improves the damping and reduces overshoot. So whatever overshoot is going to used to happen in case of a proportional type of a controller, it is going to damp that and reduces, means it works like a shock absorber in case of our electrical system, if we synonym this one to our hydraulic or a suspension system. It reduces the rise time and makes the response faster, similar to the spring. So what it will happen, it will reduces the rise time and makes the response very fast, and it makes the response stable at a very fast rate, means the settling of the signal is going to happen at a fast rate. So this type of a system we can see it in our vehicle dampers also, or springs also. Because of using of spring and dampers, what will happen, any sudden shock or vibrations are there, it is going to damp that one and brings the vehicle to stability. Same thing happens with our engine tuning also. So there also we are going to have this PD controller, so that the vibration are reduced and the rise time of the engine RPM is going to reduce and makes the response very fast and comes to stability. Application wise, here the PD controller cannot eliminate offset error because of the proportional mode. As a proportional mode is intact with a derivative controller, what will happen, the PD controller is going to have a certain offset, but this can be used to handle fast response load changes. Wherever there are large load changes, there we can use this type of controller. Means the process output is going to have more load changings frequently, like in process industries where we are going to add chemicals, or where we are going to add the temperature, and we are going to change the process immediately with the large inputs, then we require this type of a controller. Hence it is used in many industrial process control systems. Next, the next one is the important and many a times very much essential type of a controller used in a industrial application, that is proportional integral derivative controller, or popularly known as PID type of a controller. So the PID controller, or the proportional plus integral plus derivative controller, produces an output signal consisting of all the three terms: one proportional to error signal, another proportional to the integral of the error signal, and third one proportional to the derivative of a error signal. Hence it is a composite of all the three types. So this is the block diagram of a PID type of a controller. Here in the block diagram we can see that here the error input to the controller here is the Kp into 1 plus 1 divided by Ti plus Td into S. So how we get this one? So PID controller will be in the form of a proportional plus integral plus derivative. The summation of these all three outputs are going to be driving force for the control voltage in the process. So here we can see the output is coming and getting compared at the comparison element. The error is going to be driving all the three elements. So sometimes it may be one element first proportional, then the integral, then for settling or to reduce the overshoot, then the differential controller is going to add. So this is what is the block diagram of a PID type of a controller. The PID controller is defined by the equation as shown here. So that is U of t is equal to Kp into E of t plus Kp divided by Ti integrating between 0 to t Et into dt plus Kp into Td into d by dt of E of t. Then need to apply Laplace transform on the above equation. We get, so U of s equal to Kp into E of s plus Kp divided by Ti into E of s plus Kp into Td into s into E of s. So here Kp can be taken common, E of s and E of s can be taken common. Then it can be rewritten as U of s equal to Kp 1 plus 1 divided by Ti plus 1 into Td into s bracket complete E of s. Next we have to find out the transfer function which can be given by U of s divided by E of s equal to Kp bracket 1 plus 1 divided by Ti plus Td into s, where Kp is a proportional gain, Td is a time derivative or rate of change of time, and Ti is the time integral. So these are the tuning element in case of our PID type of a controller. So when we see the PID type of a controller, how it looks like. So here we can see one simulation graph of a PID controller simulation. So here in this graph we can see the input, which is a step input. So it is a reference input. This is a reference input with respect to time. Then we can see the first one, the proportional type of a controller. Here it is going to get oscillating and it is going to go and get settled after a settling time. Then we are having one more type of a input here also. This is also one type of a PID. After applying a PID type of a controller, it is going to reduce the overshoot and proportionally it is going to rise and meet the set point first time, and then it is going to damp down. The oscillations are getting reduced, the ringing action is getting reduced, and then it is going to settle down here. Settling of a steady state will occur this time. So between the first point where set point was reached, then after that where we are having set point settled down, that one we call it as a settling time, and here this horizon is called as a steady state line. Next, here we can see the different types of a curve. The bottom here, this one is the proportional controller. This is a proportional controller. Okay, then we are having the second here, this one is the PI controller. This is a PI controller. Then here we are having the third one. This is a proportional, integral and derivative type of a controller. So all the three controllers are shown in the figure. Again, to show you a simulation, first what will happen, so you are going to see there is increase in proportional gain. So first the proportional value is changing, so it is changing to the proportional gain. So this is a proportional value. Then later the integral value is going to be tuned, so it will settle. Then the derivative value is going to bring the curve to the step response, to the ideal response. This is the step response. So first one, this one is a proportional type of a controller, that is this one. Okay, then we are having the integral, that is a proportional integral type of a controller. Then this one second. Then the third one, what we are having, the third one is the PID type of a controller. Since all the three gains, the KP proportional gain, TI time integral gain, TDA the derivative rate of change in time, TDA, are individually adjusted. Here you can see individually adjusted. So the available control lowers the span significantly to a range. The available controller lowers the span a significant range. Hence the PID controller are used extensively in industrial process. The process of finding satisfactory settings for the PID gains is often called as tuning. Since the three gains are involved in this type of action, tuning is done carefully to convert it to a solution. So tunings are mainly done manually. This completes our PID type of a controller. So to summarize, what we have completed here is, we have completed the introduction of the control system, concepts of automatic controls, open loop and closed loop system, concepts of feedback, requirements of ideal control system, and all the types of controller till PID controllers. This is what we have completed. Thank you.